let's get off into this, man. Let's first. You know what I'm saying?
We want to reintroduce ourselves. Want to be a little bit on a serious note.
All right, that's cool. I'm Willie Mook.
I'm living with Powell.
Together we bad creditors, childish. On a serious note, man, we was actually talking about perfection. We was actually talking about greatness, right? And this may not have to do with credit, but if you guys watched that game yesterday, that Atlanta Hawks versus Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, hats off to Icewear. I mean, Trey is just he's amazing, hands down, man. What he did, bringing his team, no one believed in him. What was it 8, 10 point favorite underdogs?
It was here.
Yeah, and he did what he did, man. Hats off to him and the whole ATL, Migos, all of y'all. But let's get right into it.
Let's speak on some of the things that's affecting people and the ways in which they lead their lives. Because you can all look at the highlights and things that are going in a positive direction. But sometimes it's hard to look at those things that's going in a negative direction. And so the Bad Credit is Childish podcast is a little mix of both. We're trying to hit you with a pain point to get your attention, but we're also going to give you some information and we're going to give you a little bit of insights onto how to better your situation. So the Bad Credit is Childish slogan and brand is meant to actually get your attention. And then from there, we're going to spin it and we're going to turn it into a positive.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, it's a pain point. Our goal was to encourage as many individuals as we possibly can to uplift our community and to let people know that your credit is a major stream of income that you need to tap into. And listen to our podcast. We'll tell you why. We'll tell you how. I mean, it ain't nothing you ain't gonna get from us that we ain't tried on ourselves, man. We that great at what we do. We believe in what we do, and we're here to give you the game.
Yeah. So the information that we're providing to you is information that we actually have done a lot of research on, and we took out a lot of time to be able to almost perfect these elements of credit, whether it's personal credit or it's business credit or it's just information about credit. We've taken the initiative to be able to apply it for ourselves. Like Willie Mook said, we have done numerous of things to our own personal credit to get this experience to be able to give you the information. So this isn't something that we're just reading off a textbook or something that we haven't personally done our own credit.
Yeah. Here at Bad Credits Challenge, we have created different financial literacy tools that you are able to purchase and buy on Bad Credit. It's childish.com. Um, Financial literacy cards um, for kids, for adults, people who don't really know about credit, have the general knowledge about credit and is trying to, get better at what they know and what to learn. And we also got another set of deck of cards, which helps people that have bad credit. It's more of a credit assistance, do-it-yourself program, all in itself. So
Yeah, we also have a statement date planner that's free, downloadable on the website badcreditorschildish.com. The statement date planner is simply a outline of a way to be able to track your spending for the month. So you can put on your credit card, put your credit card information on there, whether it's the balance, it's the available credit. And from there you can see, and you also can put your due dates as well as statement dates. Statement dates are very key in your credit. So we'll give that gem here a little bit later, but the downloadable statement date planner is on the website.
yeah, so all of these tools basically have something to do with what we're trying to teach you today. Please take note. Please realize that the information that we're giving you guys is extremely valuable. Right? There's so many things that you can do with credit, and there's so many things that you cannot do without it. Right? So if you got any type of entrepreneurial ventures that you're looking into, if there's if you want to get into real estate, right? Real estate is pretty hot right now. Everybody know you make good money off of real estate. You want to get into cryptocurrency, right? Shout out to Bitcoin Bully. You know what I'm saying, on Instagram. You know what I'm saying. Follow my dog on Bitcoin Bully. But there's things you can get to where you don't have to utilize all your cash, because I know a lot of people are real real tight with cash, right? You have your savings account, but you don't ever want to tap into your savings account because it makes you feel a certain type of way, or you just feel as if you need to put up a certain amount of money for a rainy day. What we're trying to get you to understand is once you build your credit, you start accumulating even more access to funds where you can do more things.
In whole, it's OPM, other people's money.
Mm.
You use other people's money to create wealth for yourself. So once you establish your credit in a good positive direction, then you can apply for different lines of credit, and you can use that money in terms to be able to acquire other streams of income for yourself. So that's the name of the game. The name of the game is to use other people's money to make money, and from that point, you putting your pros to the side. So if you got a good line of credit with someone, you use that line of credit. Obviously, you know you got to pay them back. If you pay them back within a certain time limit, you won't get hit with interest rates. And so once you pay them back, you take the profit from that, you put that in your savings, and you keep moving. That's what it is. Whether it's a Airbnb, whether it's a Turo, or if it's anything that can generate money, that's the name of the game.
Yeah. So, well, basically, what Linwood is saying too is, I know, like when you're on the outside looking in, sometimes you may feel as if, like I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, or I don't have the money to buy a rental property to put it up for Airbnb, or buy a nice car to put it up on Turo. What we're trying to say is there's ways that you can establish yourself by building relationships, whether it's through people or through a bank, right? Gaining access to the funds, using those funds to accumulate those assets, right? And then after you do that, you pretty much just manage the money that you spent. But again, you're using other people's money to make your dreams come true. That also allows you to buy more time for you to be able to do what you need to do to make things happen.
And speaking of entrepreneurship, a lot of people they have aspirations and dreams of owning their own business, and they think that once they own their own business, that they can just magically have business credit. You have to actually establish your personal credit prior to establish your business credit. So establishing your personal credit is very key. A lot of people feel as if they want to have business credit so that way it don't affect their personal credit. That's actually true, but in the beginning stages, you have to have good personal credit prior to establishing your business credit, so that way your business credit can be a standalone. But you have to take the steps, and the first steps is actually establishing great personal credit. And a lot of people try to skip that step, mainly because they may not even have good personal credit, and then they think that it's a way to kind of cheat the system and to backdoor their way into good business credit. But that's not the key. The key is to actually establish your personal credit first, and then establish your business credit, and then after so long, it'll be a standalone. And we'll hit more on that as other episodes come along.
Yeah, absolutely. But while we're on business credit, I do just want to throw a couple things out there. Something to think about is more realistic, but imagine having, right, you have your personal credit file, right? You may have a 750 plus credit score, and then imagine having your business credit file, right? Whatever you accumulate on your business debt, it does not show up on your personal credit file. Whatever you accumulate on your personal debt does not show up on your business credit file. So you almost is getting like a 2-in-1 per individual. If you have a partner, you're getting like a 4-in-1, like because she can have the same thing or he can have the same thing. What I mean by that is this: your business expenses pretty much include your everyday living, right? Gas, your vehicle, any vehicle you drive, you can actually put in your business name and let it report on your business report and not report on your personal report. Therefore, it does not take up any type of debt when you want to go buy any type of real estate property or just a mortgage in general. So we'll go back to the business side. DTE, electric, cable, rent, all of those things can be purchased with your business accumulated credit card or loan or anything you get from the business, where they say you have to spend on the business, because 25% of your actual living space, your residence, your primary residence, can be considered as business. That could be your office. It's perfectly legal. You just got to know the game. You just got to learn how to play the game. We're going to teach you all of that. So
yeah, it's definitely steps to take. And so, but the main step in the real step that we're trying to get you guys to follow and to be able to tap into is your personal credit. Your personal credit is a start. So you got to start from point A and get to point B. So point A is actually just simply looking at your credit score. A lot of people don't take out the time to actually look at their credit score. Some people are scared to look at their credit score. A lot of clients have came in and they told us that they don't even know what their credit score is. They don't know what's on their credit and they don't know how to get it off. And in many cases, a lot of people feel as if they have bad credit and they actually just don't have established credit. So that's like one of the main things that we try to address to people is that don't be afraid to look at your credit score. Don't be afraid to look at your credit report, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. A lot of people will try to run from it until it's time for them to acquire something. Like, you got to plan ahead. You have to actually take the steps to be able to get your credit in good in good standings before you go apply for that loan for a car or that loan for a mortgage. So you have to take those steps. And the first step is actually opening up an app, whether it's on the website or it's an application, or you have somebody actually pull your credit report, look at the credit report, because 9 times out of 10, you have inaccuracies on your credit report. And with those inaccuracies comes a lot of different debt, a lot of mistakes that can be corrected. And that's what we specialize in.
Yeah, so just give you a little history about us, right? Like we were street dudes. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, we was all about making a dollar, making cash. But since we've been 100% full force and focused on building our credit and learning different ways to utilize our credit, I think we've became individually and collectively, we've ran across more funds and access to funding than we've ever did in our lives, right? We don't have to take those chances, those risks to try to provide a better lifestyle for our family, right? Now everything is legit. Now everything is legal. We still trying to provide a better lifestyle for our family, but we don't have to look behind our back, right? We know we're not doing nothing wrong. Everything we're doing is up on the up and up. So, we here, man.
You
We
said
making
something. You
moves.
said something key, man. You sound legit. A lot of people have adjusted from doing things illegally to doing it legally. The marijuana industry. Think about that, right? So you have a lot of people that was actually selling marijuana illegally, getting incarcerated, doing years and years of time, and now you have people that's come in that has the funds and have the resources to turn that illegal operation into a legal operation and making millions of dollars. Do you think that those people that have those opportunities have bad credit? I doubt it. I think they may have had their credit established. They was able to get loans. They was able to get different fundings, and they was in position to take advantage of that legal operation or this legal industry. So you got to think about it. Yeah, you can be a street dude and you can be out here getting money how you supposed to get it or how you know how to get it. But think about it, if you adjust and you are prepared to make that pivot when it's time to pivot. And a lot of people were prepared. Unfortunately, majority of the people didn't look like me and didn't look like you. And they were prepared, they pivoted, and they made millions of dollars off this industry that was illegal, but now it's legal. And so it's all about preparation. It's all about adjusting, and it's all about being able to see the future. So if you can look past your present situation and look towards the future and try to figure things out, that's an adjustment. That's an adjustment phase. So we trying to adjust. We trying to figure out these different lanes, whether it's the marijuana industry or it's the real estate, or if it's renting out your car with Turo, whatever it is. Because back in the day it was called rental bases. When they what was called, it was called rental bases. So people had rental bases. Turo been up. We've been doing that. But guess what? It was considered illegal when you would give somebody your car and rent it out to them for a product or whatever the case may be. But think about it now. It's legal for you to rent out your car to someone for a profit. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to adjust, and we're trying to get you all prepared to make these adjustments to be able to live a better life and have the income and means to do so.
Hey, at the end of the day, man, like I said, ain't no dream too big, ain't no dream too small. You just got to get at it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a quick process. It does take time, right? But you gotta believe, man. You gotta believe in everything you do. You gotta do everything with a purpose. Everything with a purpose. I personally believe that I don't see anybody that can get rich from working a 9 to 5. Your goal may not even be to get rich. Your goal may be just to be comfortable, right? But if you have, kids, or you have loved ones, wife, husband, your goal should always be to be able to provide for them. As a man, our job is to provide and protect.
Think,
That's it.
think about what you said. You said nothing is gonna come overnight. How long we been in this credit industry for? About a good
5 years.
years. And so we started off with just me and him working at a factory, and we was trying to figure out a way. Like, man, we got to get up out of this factory. This is not for us. Punching this clock and coming in and out and only having limited breaks and time. We like, man, this ain't it. So guess what we did? We put our heads together and collectively came up with time travel credit repair. Ironically, he was repairing his credit. I was repairing my credit. We was piggybacking off each other and throwing different ideas, and then all of a sudden we had time travel credit repair, which then allowed us to quit those jobs and focus on our business. So once we realized that we wasn't meant to be working a 9 to 5, punching in, punching out, we said, you know what, we're gonna be entrepreneurs, like true that we are true to ourselves. Like we once said, we've been in the streets, we did this and did that, but we knew that working a 9 to 5 wasn't the way. And so from there, we created time travel credit repair, and we was able to take our street hustle and turn it into a legal hustle. That's pretty much what it is. And from there, we just been adjusting, and we've been moving forward. And so lo and behold, you have bad credit is childish. It's a pain point. It's something that we're trying to get out to you guys to make y'all wake up. And if it was up to me, everybody that I touch, I want them to be able to take the information that I have, use it to their advantage, and keep it moving and give it to the next person, and so on and so forth.
I mean, always be open to take in information, right? We've done hung around people who's been less fortunate at a young age, but it was some gems that they dropped that you know what I mean, helped us out through life. We done hung around millionaires, right? There's gems that they dropped and it helped us out through our life, right? But the difference between the millionaires, aka kind of like successful people, and the ones who has not been successful, is that they try, they get a all, they do everything that they can every day. It's only 24 hours in a day, right? The system has you sleeping 8 hours a day, working 8 hours a day, and we ain't even gonna count the drive time and the lunch breaks and all of that stuff. To when you get home, you only want to spend a little 4 hours with the fam and pretty much lay it down. But in reality is, imagine if you spent 8 hours a day focusing on your dream every day. You put in the same hard work that you put in at work, focusing on your dream. Imagine where you'll be.
I was just gonna say, man, that's a dream killer when you think about it, man. Like you said, you sleeping 8 hours, you going to work 8 hours, you got travel time breaks, and you look up, the day is over. So it's a dream killer, man. That's one thing when we was working at the factory, man. I couldn't think outside of the box. I couldn't think about, you know, anything outside of being at work or going home and trying to get some sleep or getting up. I was thinking about getting up before I went to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so doing that, I wasn't able to focus on anything outside of that. So it was like almost like my mind was getting closed down. And at the end of the day, they put you in the system to be able to like kill your dreams, to make make you like narrow minded and thinking about one thing and one thing only. I know it's a lot of people that can attest to this. If you're working at a factory, I'm pretty sure you done dreamed about your job and actually whatever it is that you was doing time and time and time again, because you've been repetitively doing the same thing over and over again. Because when I was working at the factory, I used to dream about my job when I was at home, sleep, literally like actually doing the job. And so that's a dream killer when you working for somebody and you working a 9 to 5. And I'm not against 9 to 5, because if you can take a 9 to 5 to fund your dreams, then I say do so. But you think about the big picture, it's a dream killer because you living out somebody else's dream when you working for them. That's kind of what it boils down to.
Absolutely.
So we got the financial literacy flashcards that we have created that's on the website badcreditschildish.com for sale. You can click the link and actually purchase those. But what I done was I actually pulled one of the cards from the deck that I'm going to explain. And this alone, this is the loan definition in flashcards. And you know, right now, loans is pretty big out here. Ain't they big? Everybody want to talk about the PPP loan. They want to talk about a business loan. They want to talk about a personal loan, whether it's a mortgage or if it's a car loan. But everybody want to talk about loans. So that's why I picked this card. And the definition for a loan is lending of money by one or more individual, organizations, or other entities to other individuals, organizations, etc. The recipient is a borrower, and it incurs a debt, and is usually liable to pay interest on that debt until it is repaid. In most cases, with interest.
Take that in.
So, a loan. Now, a lot of people think about it as is a bad thing. A loan is a great thing if you use it right. If you take a loan and you use it to your advantage, it's actually positive. Yes, you will incur interest, and yes, you do have to pay it back. But think about it. In many cases, some of these people, and I'm not saying individuals are bad or good or what, however the case may be. If you got the PPP loan, I applaud you. Honestly, most people are looking at it as, oh, this person has got the PPP loan. It's a negative thing. No, just imagine if that person got the PPP loan and they actually had a business. They paid their employees, and they took the money that they had acquired or received, and they made money with that money, and they're actually going to pay back the loan. That's the object, to pay it back. And so a lot of people saying PPP, and they put a negative connotation to it, but think about the people that actually took the PPP loan and did what they had to do. Because a lot of people and businesses have applied for loans for the last 20 years and got denied. I ain't gonna say why they got denied. I ain't gonna say who denied them, but in many cases, a lot of people got denied of loans, but they got the PPP loan. And guess what? The ones that's doing the right thing with it, hey, I applaud them.
Listen, like he said, I wouldn't speak up on a PPP loan much, but at the end of the day, you got to take advantage of the opportunities that you get.
Absolutely.
Right? If you did get the PPP loan and you just sitting on the money, you should never apply for it in the first place. If you got the PPP loan and you letting that money work for itself, and you might have put 20,000 in Dogecoin, put 20,000 in Bitcoin at the right time, and that boy blew up, pay that 20,000 back, you might have made 8-9 grand.
Come on,
That's
now.
the goal of taking advantage of the money that the government is giving, the advantage of the money that the banks are giving, right? You want to start establishing relationships with your banks, with building relationships to acquire more funding. Every time I put my money in the bank, I know the bank is using my money, right? So are y'all going to give me some money to use? If not, that's not the bank for me. And I'm not telling you got to think that way, but that's just the way that I think.
Yeah, man, you hit on something. It's all about relationships. If I can't call you and ask for a favor, and you can't call me ask for a favor, is this really a relationship?
Not at all.
Or is it a positive relationship? So if you're gonna have relationships, make sure you be able to depend on that person. They can depend on you, just as if you can depend. The bank can depend on your money, and they loaning your money out. Why can't you go and ask them to borrow money from them? You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, at the end of the day, it's all about relationships, and it's all about it being a two-way street. But think about this: if you don't have the credit score to be able to get a loan, all that's dead. Just think about just imagine you had bad street credit. Can I call if I got bad street credit? Can I call you and say, "Hey man, I need to borrow 10 bands real quick from you." If you then heard that I done ran off with somebody else's money, reply say run off on the plug. You can't run off on the plug because your street credit gonna be bad. And guess what? You ain't gonna be able to get no loan.
And it's almost the same with being in a relationship, right? Like if we're in a relationship, our goal is to help build each other, right? So you may never understand my dream, but you're supposed to believe in my dream as if I'm gonna believe in yours. So it may be some things that I have to do that you may not understand, but if you believe in me, you will understand the simple fact because the care for me and you believe in me and the goals that we're trying to reach for our future, for our family. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna give it all. And I say this all the time. I say this all the time. It's a give and a take, right? You have to be able to manage the funding that you receive. If you are not able to manage the funding that you're able to receive, then you may not want to take advantage of the gems that we're trying to give you. I'm going to say that again. If you have no purpose, for building yourself a better future, for taking funds and understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt, which we will teach you throughout the course of these podcasts, understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. If you don't understand it and you just want the money, just to want the money, to use the money, I'm here to say, don't even go try to get the money.
It's almost like, you know how a client may come in the door and they come in and they want to get their credit established and they want credit cards and they want to get a loan and they want to do all of these great things but don't have a job. It's like, okay, man, you want to come in here, you want to get your credit established, I'm going to take your money and I'm going to establish your credit if I'm going to do my job. But then I'm going to give you a plan of action, but the plan of action may not be what you expect it to be. I'm not going to tell you to go out here and get you a $10,000 credit card and you don't have a job to be able to pay back this credit card. You don't have a business or you don't have a source of income. I'm going to tell you to hold off for a second. Let's come up with a real game plan and then we can take action. I don't want to put you in a situation where you're going to be back in here telling me you want me to get this debt off your credit. It ain't that easy. It sounds easy when you say credit repair. People think we can make magic and we can come in here and we can take, $10, $20, $30,000 off and then you can go acquire it again, then come back in and take it off. No, we work hard at getting credit, getting debt off your credit. So once we get it off, the plan is to not put it back on unless it's good debt. And Willie may be able to hit on some good debt and some bad debt.
Facts. I mean, we definitely hit on that the next episode. But to the point that Linwood was saying as well, right? Only you know what you can handle, right? We don't want to put too much on your plate. We're not telling you to go do what we do because I'm a firm believer of my dream isn't your dream, right? My path isn't your path. So you may want to establish another source of income, which could be credit to access funds for cryptocurrency. You may want to be able to establish another source of income to access funds for real estate, for multiple purchase of cars to put on Turo. Look, there is no wrong, there is no right, right? But all we're saying is we can get you to the bag. We can get you to the bag. It's just that simple. You don't need anything but to come see Bad Credit is Childish. Come see Time Travel Credit Repair. Link up with Linwood. Link up with Willie Mook. We're going to take care of you.
Or just simply go to the website, www.badcreditschildish.com. Check us out. Look up our bios. Look at the products that we have on there. Grab you a t-shirt if you already have good credit and you feel like you want to walk around proud with the shirt on. Or, and if not, then put the shirt on with hopes of not being childish. So you can think a little bit, you can speak it into existence. Put the shirt on, wear it proud, knowing that in 3-6 months, maybe a year, you're not going to be childish. You're not going to have bad credit. You actually you have bought the financial literacy flashcards. You've learned the information and you applied it. And from there, hey, you know what? You can tune back into us at any given moment. You can rewind this. You can play it back. Go on YouTube. Go on Spotify. What other platforms that we on? Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever
Instagram,
it is.
Facebook. Catch us on everything at Bad Credit is Childish. But to tap into exactly what he was saying, fellas, Bad Credit is Childish is a pain point, but it's also a movement.
Absolutely.
It's also a movement. Like, we want to hit you where it hurt. We want to look. When you read them shirts walking through the airport, or you read them shirts when you wherever you at, you got to look at yourself and say, damn, am I childish?
Hey, so look, guess what you're going to do? It's one or two things. Either you're going to laugh or you're going to cry.
Woo, woo.
It's one or two things. That's it. In many cases, the only reaction that we get is a laugh. Most people be like, that's so true. Yeah, I like the shirt. But the ones that look at the shirt, read, look me in my eye, and then turn away, I'm like, oh, you know what? Here's my business card. Call me, man. I seen the look. I seen the look in your eye. You need to get with us.
Absolutely.
But guess what? Me and Willie Mook, we're gonna continue to drop these gems on y'all. We're gonna give y'all information. We're gonna talk to y'all. We're gonna give y'all a little bit of our personal testimonies. We're gonna let y'all into our lives and things that we got going on. And that way you can kind of, take wherever you want to take and leave whatever you want to leave.
Again, Willie Mook.
Linwood.pow. Hey, check us out. Back Credit is Childish. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Absolutely. Grow up.